President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, during his recent address to the 80th United Nations General Assembly, emphasized that Ghana must be an energy leader while also protecting the environment. On Tuesday, President Ali underscored the importance of striking balance between climate action and energy security, pointing out that billions of people around the world still lack access to electricity, even as the digital and AI-driven revolution requires an ever-increasing supply of energy.
Arrive at this balance, and I think that is where the United Nations and institutions of multilateral nature must lead the discourse. It must not be this against this. It must be how we bring these two positions into the center, and that is the role Guyana wants to play. And we can play that role by demonstrating, not only from a theoretical perspective, but from a practical perspective as to how we bring that balance. And
President Ali noted that the Caribbean and Pacific regions are among the hardest hit by climate change and as such must be strong advocates for climate justice. He emphasized that Guyana must continue investing in the protection of its coastline and low-lying areas, a commitment that will require support and financing from international partners. He explained that discussions on climate justice must take into account a range of diverse and interconnected factors.
And when you speak about climate justice too, it is about the displacement that climate change causes. When you look at Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and Africa, and see what the impact of climate change in terms of livelihood, displacement of people, displacement of the economy, the impact on the fishing industry, the impact on crops and livestock. When you have long period of droughts, when you have excessive rainfall that lead to flooding. So the climate justice also involves how the system is geared towards responding to these events and dealing with the displacement of people, the size of the population that is pushed into poverty because of climate-related events. So this is the totality of the climate justice conversation. And how do we...
President Ali explained that the growing number of global conflicts and rising geopolitical tensions continue to cast a shadow over critical issues, most notably the stability of global supply chains, including those essential to food security. He emphasized that disruptions should not only be viewed solely in a negative light, but also recognized as catalysts for systemic change, offering opportunities to rethink and reform existing infrastructure and leadership models.
The energy that we have as a blessing now must be able to position our country to be ahead of the competition and to be part of this whole change, global change that is taking place. Multilateralism itself is being disrupted to the extent that many people are questioning whether globalization is still relevant.
Yes.
But these disruption allows us the scope and opportunity to evaluate even the question about the benefits of the United Nations and at 80 whether United Nations has really fulfilled its mandate. But sometimes we have to all remember that the United Nations can only fulfill its mandate if all of us as nations and members of the United Nations fulfill our mandate.
He stressed that Ghana must remain relevant during this period of global disruption, noting that the country's partners and allies play a critical role in supporting its continued progress, especially as Ghana's economic future remains on a positive trajectory. Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV 9 News.